So good morning everyone, and welcome to yet another All India meeting. So this technique that I'm going to talk about, basically I started doing about 5 years ago, and we wrote it up in Archives, which has become American Journal of Ophthalmology. So you can go there and check it out. So these are the salient points. Basically, if you have a ectopia lentis patient, you have a dislocated or subluxated lens, you have few options. One is get the entire lens out, put an AC lens. Most people don't like AC lenses today. So you can suture in a PC lens. But what if you want to do something different? You want to retain the capsular bag to act as a separation between vitreous and aqueous and maintain the normal architecture of the eye. Then you can try this technique. The cornerstone of this technique, you can see it's quite a bit of subluxation, is with my left hand I am supporting the lens, and with the right hand I am doing a small rhexis. This part of the technique has to be got down pat, because if your rhexis is not going to go around, then you have to abort and you have to do something else. So you have to get a good rhexis at this stage. That is imperative. So use counter pressure, traction, whatever you want. Go slowly around. Inject viscoat multiple number of times. Make multiple regrasp, but make sure that rhexis goes around. Next step is, opposite the area of maximum subluxation, make 2 side ports. Once that is done, use either iris hooks or capsule hooks that you get nowadays. When I did it, there was no such thing as capsule hooks available in India, so I used iris hooks in the video. And just tent the capsular bag up. So now that the capsular bag is supported on 2 hooks, you can remove the cataract. Most of these patients are not really old people. They are young boys, males, 20, 25, 30 years old. So they really don't have very much cataract in the first place. The poor vision is not because of density of cataract. The poor vision is because of having to look through the edge of the lens or through the aphakic part. Then when you do INA, you slowly peel it off. If you make any jerky movements or sudden movements at this stage and the capsular bag dislodges from the hooks, it becomes a real problem to do it. Now inject a tension ring, and when you inject a tension ring, always do it smoothly. Remember that these are very lax capsules, and if you have jerky movements with the tension ring, it will snag and the whole bag will tear. So you keep injecting smoothly, and right at the last bit, just snap it off so that it goes into the fornix. Now in this case, I'm using a single piece lens. I don't like 3-piece lenses, and soon they are not going to be able to get them either. So this is a very good technique with a single piece lens, and the lens I use is a Rayner lens, and not because I have any financial agreement with them, but because it's really the best lens to use in these situations. So I have tied a 9-0 or a 10-0 Prolene to the haptic, and then I'm passing the needle through the barrel of the injector. So the idea is that you don't need a holder folder, you don't need to cut the eye open and put PMMA lenses. You can use your regular single piece acrylic lens. Needle goes through the tunnel and out the other side through the fornix of the capsular bag. So this is a very simple and straightforward way of doing things. You have just tied the suture to the leading haptic, and behind that you are just injecting the lens. So the lens is connected by a suture which has passed through the sclera. And aiming for a in the bag implantation. So in essence, we are removing the concept of ectopia lentis from this eye and having a centered lens with a capsular bag. So this suture is acting like accessory zonules, and you just pass it through the sclera a second time and lock it. And by doing this, you can adjust suture tension, you can decide where you want the lens to be, and you can even put in a multifocal lens because you can decide centration based on the center of the cornea. This is the end of the procedure, and you can see lens is well centered in a simple and safe technique. Next video I am going to show you is this young girl, about 20 years old, comes to me with intraocular pressure of 40. Human lens half subluxated into the anterior chamber. And she was a wheel Marchesani dwarf. She was just this much. She was holding down a job. She couldn't see properly anymore. And she was about plus 20. So there was no option except to perform the procedure. And you can see she has like a 360-degree subluxation. After rhexis, which is rather straightforward in these cases, just suck out the cortical matter. Again, when doing INA, you have to be a little slow and use slow motion vacuum, use less vacuum, and slowly peel it away. No sudden jerky movements. You can see that whole bag is mobile. Now look what happens when I'm injecting the tension ring. You have to inject it really smoothly at one go. If you stop halfway, it will just snag and the capsular bag will rupture. And you can see it coming around the other side. So keep it at the margin of the rhexis, otherwise the entire bag will move, and you inject the ring. You can see it's a small eye and the ring has gone around 1.5 times there. So it's snapped into place. Now the capsular bag is rather stable. And in goes the lens. And INA at the end. So this technique works very well, but you have to be careful in the spherophakia patients where the entire the lens, zonules, everything tries to sublux up into the anterior chamber. But tension ring will usually solve it like this. And the last video I have for you. So this guy had already had LASIK done. He had PRK done on top of LASIK. You can see the haze there. Cornea was like 350 microns. So there was no question of doing any more refractive surgery. Capsular bag was subluxated and he had a high cylinder. So he just refused to wear glasses. And you can see how sublux that bag is. While doing this surgery, I thought everything is just going to fall in. You can see that most of the area here, there are no zonules. So turning it round and round, and it looks like everything is gone, but actually it's the entire capsular bag which is sitting on top of the lens now. So after lots of manipulation, pulling it round and round, I managed to get that lens out. You can see the bag is half subluxated. This is a cutter made by a company called Goider in Germany. So lets me get one proper snip at the lens. So one cut, and then you simply Pac-Man the lens out of the eye. So you get one part of it out, and then turn it around, and then slide the same part out. So from about a 3.5 millimeter, you can get the entire lens out without too much pulling and tugging. Again, tension ring, stabilize the bag and put the tension ring in. So if you can get the tension ring in most cases, you're safe. So in goes, this is a toric Acrisof. That's why the eye has been pre-marked. And you have to be really slow here and gentle and make sure there's a lot of slippery viscoelastic in that capsular bag. Otherwise all slippery vitreous is going to come out instead.